Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Mary Roth, and my preferred address is, hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Mary Roth, and my preferred address is Dr. Mary. And welcome to the Ethnic Studies 4200 Racial and Ethnic Experiences course. We're going to get started with a course overview and an introduction of me as the instructor to share a bit more about my background. So to start out, I will navigate where all of the materials are located on our Canvas course shell. So the layout is very straightforward for a given section of the course. We always start out with the first module, which is the syllabus, week 1 readings, assignment instructions, as well as the course overview and introduction. The subsequent module is the assignment instructions, materials, and an actual module where the end of the course session student presentations will be uploaded for everyone to be able to view and listen to. And then the remainder of the modules consist of the readings that are required for the course and that you do not have to purchase. They are provided free of cost. So what I'm going to do now is turn to the actual course introduction and overview, which you can access on that first module of our Canvas course shell. And I prefer to download it in order to navigate through it. So again, this is the Ethnic Studies 4200 course. It is an upper division course and fulfills a number of graduation of requirements with GE, and also fulfills the multicultural requirement. So what we're going to cover for this introduction is introducing myself, introducing the course, and since this is an ethnic studies course, specifically framing it within the broader ethnic studies field, as well as the history of when and how and by whom the field was established. And then we will review the syllabus as well as the Meet Your Peers assignment. So again, my name is Dr. Mary. I actually started out as an educator in K through 12 public schools teaching 7th graders, actually from all over the world, including the United States. So I was trained as what was called in the early 90s, English as a second language bilingual elementary school teacher, and which is now referred to most commonly as English language learners. And I've had a range of experiences over the past 25 to 30 years, including teaching in traditional public schools, teaching in charter schools, also serving as an administrator in a charter school, and of course, transitioning to becoming a professor in 2012 at my former master's degree program, Northern Arizona University. And I've actually been here at Stan State since 2018. And I'm extremely active with the Black Faculty and Staff Association, as well as the Black Student Union, because I am an interdisciplinary, holistic, and critical ethnic studies scholar with an emphasis in Black studies. And so here are some images that you can enjoy when you look at the presentation on your own, if you would like to. I actually grew up in the Deep South, in what is the northernmost part of the Mississippi Delta, within that region of Tennessee and Arkansas. And I grew up in a small city. Actually, it was about the size of Turlock in its heyday, called Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And my hobbies include traveling all over the world. Here is a photo from when I participated in a really amazing and transformative program called Decolonial Black Transnational Feminism in Brazil, in Bahia, Brazil. which is a state in the northeastern part of Brazil, and it's often referred to as Little Africa because it has the largest number of peoples of African descent outside of the continent of Africa itself. Spending time with family is obviously a favorite pastime of mine, and maintaining those relationships. And this is an image of myself with my aunt, my two younger brothers, my sister-in-law, and my older sister, who was the first Black person and first woman elected as Episcopalian bishop of the Episcopalian Diocese of West Tennessee. And this is me basically having a lot of fun, acting as a human trampoline with one of my great nephews, Elijah. I love music, I love dancing, so I'm an old head. I like old school R&B, hip hop, world music, folk, folk rock, classic rock, you name it, I love it. And especially love merengue, salsa, cumbia. So that's just a little bit of information about me. And I'm really excited because you all are going to get the opportunity to share about your backgrounds, not only as students here at Stan State, but also in terms of a few fun facts about yourself, as well as reasons why you're taking this course, what you would like to gain from taking this course. So to give some background on ethnic studies, what I'm going to do is actually start out with the origins of the field. And so what is it? Well, what's really critical to note about ethnic studies, it is the only academic discipline that was created by students who waged the longest student strike in the history of higher education in the US in 1968 and 1969. And this was a very critical strike because these students were really a co-solidarity, a coalition of a number of student organizations at San Francisco State University, which is one of the campuses in the 23 University, California State University system, which is also the system of which Stan State is a campus. And so ethnic studies was created by students engaging in collective social justice activism within the CSU. And these student groups consisted of a Black Student Union, a Chicano Power at the time, right, Latinx student organization, one Native American student organization, and two Asian American Pacific Islander student organizations. And the whole intent of this movement was to actually fully integrate everyone's histories, everyone's current day contributions into the history and the reality of what it has taken to build the United States and what it takes to continue to maintain the United States, especially in terms of the civil liberties and civil rights that all peoples in the United States benefit from, that do not unfortunately come from our Constitution or our Bill of Rights, but come about because social justice activists historically and currently are always able to hold systems of oppression accountable based on the US Constitution, our legal system, and the Bill of Rights. And so what ethnic studies does very intentionally is it focuses on examining the hierarchy that has been established not only in the US, but around the world, based on racialized class system, based on socioeconomic status, based on gender identities, sexual orientations, nationality, documentation status, notions of able-bodiedness, or being differently abled, et cetera, et cetera. And this was very intentional. And what the United States does, and is really doubling down on, is to whitewash all of our full history, right? The full, complete truth. And in particular, to the current day, ethnic studies prioritizes examining the groups from which the student activists come from. So that means that within ethnic studies, it's primarily looks at the subfields of Black African American studies, Native American Indigenous studies, Asian American Pacific Islander studies, as well as, I believe that, Black, Native American, Indigenous, Asian American, Pacific Islander, and Latinx, Chicanx studies. And so it explicitly examines oppression, marginalization, privilege stemming from race, right? All of the different social categories, as well as the different social justice activist movements that challenge and that change these systems of oppression. And so some concepts that are covered in ethnic studies class, even though all of the concepts are not covered in every single ethnic studies class, are critical race theory, decoloniality theory, structural racism, colonialism, white supremacy, social justice movements, and intersectionality theory, which looks at how we belong to different socially constructed categories simultaneously that are externally imposed by the larger society. And that means that we experience this oftentimes very complex and often contradictory kind of mixed bag process of sometimes experiencing privilege, right, on a continuum versus sometimes experiencing marginalization on a continuum. So an example of intersectionality is the fact that I am racialized as Black, and I also identify as African American. I identify as a cisgender woman, right? And I am labeled as a cisgender woman. And so, and I am a PhD. So in terms of how I'm racialized, I absolutely experience systemic structural racism, and I always have. And yet in terms of identifying as cisgender, which is identifying with the gender that was assigned to me at birth, based on that category, I actually experience privilege in relation to individuals, for example, who identify as transgender or non-gender binary, so who don't identify with the gender that was assigned to them at birth. And yet, to make it even more complex, because I am a cisgender woman, women, even though women make up the numerical majority in the US and in many other countries, politically, economically, socially, women are definitely marginalized in relation to cisgender men overall. And so like intersectionally gets into all of the weeds when it comes to how we are multifaceted, we're multidimensional as people, and we belong to a whole array of socially constructed categories. So these are some of the theories that ethnic studies looks at. And in this course in particular, we will be doing a deep dive into structural racism, into white supremacy, into colonialism, and into social justice movements. Now I'm going to segue into the syllabus, and I'm going to go back to our Canvas course shell to show where you can access the syllabus in that very first module. And I'm not going to go through the syllabus verbatim, but really give a summary, because you will have the syllabus itself, because you will have an opportunity to go over it and access it at any time. And I will also be going over a deeper dive into the assignments, right, the assessments. Now, in terms of the course attendance and participation does not apply to asynchronous classes. So in terms of the syllabus, which is located here, of course, this is an asynchronous class. And so the specific dates are located on the documents that I have created, with instructions on the assignments themselves, with how to format the assignments, as well as sign up documents in order to sign up for the assignment. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the specific dates when it comes to the syllabus. What's really important to note is the total points for the first assignment is 10 points. The total points for the exams, of which there are 2, are 60, and the class presentation is 30, response essay is 20, for a total of a possible 120 points. So in terms of the readings for the course, they are all provided on the Canvas course shell, and they are organized in modules by week. So it's literally organized by week 1, week 2 readings, week 3 readings, etc. And you can find the long form, little citations for the readings, as well as the layout of the course itself at the bottom of the syllabus. So additionally, the course description, again, you can read over this in your own time. The course description is also provided on the homepage of our Canvas course shell. It is divided into 4 parts, and that's very important. Really, well, 4 sections in 2 parts. So part 1 is historical, made up of the pre-colonial and the colonialism sections. And then part 2 is contemporary, made up of the critical topics and current issues section. So what I'm going to do now is go into the major assignments for the course. The Meet Your Peers assignment instructions, as well as an instruction video, are already provided on our Canvas course shell. So the response essay is an essay that's worth 20 points. You will upload it directly onto our Canvas course shell. And I've provided essay instructions here, as well as essay formatting instructions. So when you click onto the essay instructions, you will see that you have an option to write a response essay answering questions that are organized based on section A, which is if you choose to respond to questions on the pre-colonial readings from the course. Section B, if you choose to respond to the colonialism section of the course. And then section C, if you choose to respond to the critical topics portion of the course readings. And it's very straightforward. The formatting instructions are included here. You can click on the response essay sign up document to actually go directly to the link where you will be able to sign up for those essays. And in terms of our other primary assignment of the student presentations, extensive directions are provided on the instructions with formatting, and there's also a link to the presentation sign up document that you will be able to access directly on our Canvas course shell. Now, the unit exams will be posted on Canvas, and so I will provide instructions on those once it gets closer to the date. So that concludes the course introduction for Ethnic Studies 4200 Racial and Ethnic Experiences. And feel free to reach out to me with any questions or to request a time to meet one-on-one via Zoom at any point. I have included my email on the syllabus as well as on some of the other assignment instructions.